welcome back to the Turn 3 Racing Network. I am the boss man, Al Smith, and bringing you all of tonight's action for the DECAF Late Model Tour. It's Dollar Hot Dog Night here at the Langley Speedway here in Virginia. It's the Langley Speedway. It's a 3/10 of a mile racetrack. 76 degrees is on the track temperature, 72 in the air, as we look for race number 3 of this tour, presented by the Coffee Cup Racing League here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Over the last 2 weeks, or the first 2 weeks, we saw the racing fast, furious, and a lot of side-by-side action. We started off the North Wilkesboro Speedway, where Joe Schaefer Jr. took home the win on opening night. Then we went to Newton, Iowa, to the Iowa Speedway, where we saw Guillaume Fortin charge from the back of the pack to come home with his first career win. So 2 weeks, 2 different winners. Are we going to see more of the same here tonight at the Langley Speedway? Taking a look at the points before the action here tonight. With the win last week, Guillaume Fortin going to jump out to your points lead over the Attitude Esports driver Justin Rigsby. Justin Rigsby is tied for second with Rex Hoyle. AJ Hamill sits fourth as the 3-way tie for your number 2 position. Andy Lambert with his priority auto number 8 sits 5th in the standings with Charlie Widener. Joe Schaefer Jr. fell to 7th after week number 2, and he'll have to rebound here tonight. Matt Eddy sits in the 9th, and running out your top 10 is Justin McDuff in the Empire Racing Team, the Tim Horton sponsored number 20. Tonight's field is going to be set by the last 2 weeks. It's kind of like a handicap. Well, it's not kind of. It is a handicap, and that's how they will take and go over the lineups here tonight. It'll be based off of the last 2 races. So starting up front, it will be the number 9 of Brian Jones. I don't see Jones in the lobby quite yet, so we'll have to see what the starting lineup will look like once they get there. Drivers meeting underway down on pit road. As we take a look down here on the front stretch, the crowd has filed in here to the Langley Speedway for tonight's action. 100 laps of late model action coming to you next here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. The track's gone quiet right now. The drivers getting the last minute instructions by the head honcho himself, the Coffee Cup creator, AJ Hamill. You'll see him in action here tonight, as he will be piloting the number 18 Arts Barbershop Ford Mustang. So the driver's down on pit road right now, getting their instructions. We look at the front there. There's the number 18 we were just talking about. Then you got the 777. That's Jeremy Carpenter. Number 15. Newcomer to the series here tonight. On the number 15, I believe that might be the 45 of Casey Bietti. Yes, that is. They're kind of sharing pit stalls right now. We have 21 cars signed in for 100 laps of racing here at the Langley Speedway. And I can tell you out there that it is going to be one of those races of patience and aggression. Very hard to pass here around the Langley Speedway. A very flat racetrack as you get the aerial coverage here, brought to us by the Turn 3 Racing Network. So there's a lot of passing zones, or you're going to mainly be off the corners, getting into the corner. Someone blows it. Could be see a lot of rear wheel hopping tonight. Cars getting loose on entry, maybe opening up a gap. It's going to be one of those races where you're kind of patient. It's kind of Oxford-esque, but a little bit straight over straightaways. Not quite a circle like the Oxford Plains Speedway is. As we take a look here at our upcoming races after tonight for the DECAF Late Model Tour. And we'll go to Myrtle Beach next Monday night. Then we'll head out to the West Coast to the Irwindale Speedway. And then we'll have our mid-season championships on, well, that date is wrong, but it will be on September 14th. So we'll yell at the stat guy down in the truck and tell him to get that fixed up here, as that will be the mid-season championships here. That's going to be 1.5 points night. So the drivers are not going to want to miss that here tonight as we get ready to go with tonight's action on $1 hot dog night. I don't know about you out there, but that sounds pretty good about right now. So we'll step away for a moment and we'll pay some bills here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We thank you for tuning in tonight. We'll be right back with the start of tonight's race.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Bowling brings people together.
Right down the middle. You got it. Uh-oh. Good job.
Do what you can do, man.
Wait.
That's a strike right there. Connect with family and friends. Go bowling.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is Iracing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic real world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Drivers meeting just getting over with here tonight on $1 Hot Dog Night for the DECAF Late Model Tour. As we get ready to go with tonight's action, they are starting to grid it up here, so we will take a look at the starting lineup for tonight's 100-lap main event as we get ready to go here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. Starting on the front row is going to be the number 777, the Casino Quest number 777. That's Jeremy Carpenter. To his outside will be the 45 of Casey Bietti, a driver that runs up at the Thunder Road Speedway in Vermont. Aaron Maynard will start in the second row on the inside in the car number 46 with his Maynard Motorsports East number 46. To his outside, the 71 of Jeremy Watkins. Adam Jones and Jason Garrett going to make up row number 3, starting on the inside of row number 4 will be the number 20 of Justin McDuff. To his outside, his dancing mate will be the number 8, the 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. Matt Eddy and Mike Holtzclaw will make up row number 5, and row number 6 will be the 85 of Jeff Stiles and the number 99 of, or the 39 of Bill Martin. The next row is going to be A.J. Hamill and Justin Rigsby in car number 18 and 99. Starting on the inside of row number 8 will be the 17 of A.J. Rogers. Starting 16th will be Guillaume Fortin, last week's feature event winner. Chris Stump, Ira Kohlhaas will make up row number 9. Eric Steele, first appearance for that driver out of Vermont. Dean Gallison and Rob Rydell going to start here. But ladies, sim race fans, we are here ready to go racing as they get ready to go. The Coffee Cup Racing League presents the full-fendered Gladiators. Before they pour their racing coffee in the engines and door slam in the turn row, they salute you, the race fans, as the green flag comes out. Down the backstretch they go for the first time. Jeremy Carpenter going to jump out to the early race lead, bringing Maynard along to the inside. Casey Bietti stuck up on the outside there as he battles with the 89. That is Adam Jones. Jones working there now. It'll be Bietti getting back into line in front of the number 20 of Justin McDuff, who's quickly moved up here tonight as we already clicking off lap number 3. Maynard got to the race lead, missed that. Aaron Maynard to the race lead. He said he was not worthy of being talked about in the pre-race. He's up front. He's got Adam Jones all over the back bumpers. They come off of turn number 4 and down the front stretch. Jones took a peek to the inside, couldn't do anything with him. Now he'll make another bid at the 46 of Maynard, leaving that inside line open. Slamming the door. Bietti got a little bit loose back there. He chases up the racetrack. He'll lose 3, 4, 5 positions as he'll slide back to your number 6 position. Side by side battle as they come off of turn numbers 4. Now they get single file here, nose to tail. Is AJ Hamill starting to make his run up through the 777, the Casino Quest car, stuck up on the outside. Now he's dealing with Joe Schaefer Jr. in the Epic Media number 6 driver out of Wisconsin. He's got AJ Rogers, the driver out of Virginia, right there close in tow. And they got Chris Stump, the Tip City, Ohio driver, trying to fill in the gap as well. As now Carpenter might be able to get in there, but Chris Stump has better ideas. Up front, Adam Jones able to get by the number 46, and he's gapped them by about a half a second now as they head down in the turn number 3. Justin McDuff on the move. He's quickly up into your 3rd spot. As we look on board here with the Turn 3 Racing Network with Aaron Maynard, as he looks back on the 20 of Justin McDuff. McDuff using the extreme inside line there. You see him down below the yellow line. That is not out of bounds. It actually helps the car rotate a little bit with these late model stock cars. There will be a caution as the yellow flag comes out for the first time here tonight. And we'll take and see what the yellow flag is for here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. It looked like somebody went around, possibly Justin Rigsby here. Yeah, he got loose down in the turn number 1, and around it went for the driver in the number 99, the Attitude Motorsports entry of Justin Rigsby. He's going to bring out the first yellow flag here tonight. Rigsby will catch up to the field here as we go back live. He'll catch to the backside of the 71 of Jeremy Watkins right there in front of him. So up front, it is Adam Jones here. The driver is up 4 positions. As we look off the Iracing Mustang pace car. Laps are not counting underneath yellow flag conditions here. So as they run right now, Adam Jones is up 4 positions from his starting spot. Aaron Maynard's going to have to start on the outside of this race on the restart. We saw how the outside did not work for the driver of the 45 of Casey Bietti. He kind of fell back. Same with Jeremy Watkins, the 777. Early race leader. He is back into the 14th position after getting hung up on the outside. As the crowd packs it in here to the Langley Speedway, the lights will go out on the Iracing Mustang. The field will double up here. 9 laps are complete. Working lap number 10. As they're going to get ready to come back here for the restart. Our first restart presented by the Coffee Cup Racing League. Check them out on Facebook, Coffee Cup Racing League, on the interwebs at coffeecupracingleague.com. Pace car is off. We're back underway, and jumping on the loud pedal will be the 89 of Jones. Jones going to quickly take to the inside line. Here comes Justin McDuff. McDuff to the bottom as they work off a turn number 2 and down the backstretch. McDuff and Maynard will be door to door as they come off of turn number 4. Maynard hanging tough up on the outside there as they work through the corner. The field shuffles by. Off, and you see him 2-3 wide back there. Yeah, back in the pack. That was with the 45 of Casey Bietti. He got shuffled way to the outside. He's battling with the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Cream starting to rise to the top here is Justin McDuff right there behind 89. Jason Garrett with a strong run early on here to AJ Hamill up to your number 4 position. Up 9 spots from the start of this one. He runs wheel to wheel with the number 46 of Maynard. Now he's got Joe Schaefer Jr. close in tow. They got him stacked up here off of turn number 4. Maynard kissing the outside wall just a little bit. Just can't quite find a hole to get back down to the inside.
Caution. All right, save your stuff, save a little fuel.
Yellow flag gonna come out once again. It possibly is for the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter, our pole sitter here tonight. Getting in the trouble with his CEG Casino Quest number 777. Let's see if we can find out what happened to Jeremy Carpenter. Oh, the possible contact back there with, I believe, not quite sure who that car is. It's all blacked out here as we take another peek here at this from the back roof cam of Jeremy Carpenter. Yeah, that car just kind of got in the corner a little bit too hot, sending the 777 around, able to keep it off the wall. But a tough break for our pole sitter here that finds himself deep in the field. Here, one driver not able to make the green flag. That's the driver of the 39 of Bill Martin. As the field shuffles around under the yellow flag here. Can't tell you the race leader is the 89 of Adam Jones here. Outside of him will be the Justin McDuff automobile. To his starting on the inside of row number 2 will be the 35. That's the driver out of Knightstown, Indiana. The Highline Racing entry, the CB Fabricating number 35. That is J.J. Garrett. They call him Fluffy. So he'll start on the inside of row number 2. On the outside of him will be the Green Mountain Madman himself, the promoter and owner of the Coffee Cup Racing League. That's number 18 of A.J. Hamill in the Arts Barbershop Ford Mustang. He'll start on the outside of row number 2. Lights still out there on the speedway. Let's take a look at some. Casey Bietti back to your 13th position. He's got the inside line this time. He's had to start on the outside the last couple of restarts, so now he'll get back to the inside. He'll start to the inside, I believe, of the 85 of Jeff Stiles. And it looks like the black car, that is the number 32. The driver out of South Burlington, Vermont, the unsponsored automobile. That's Eric Steele. His outside will be Big Country. That's Ira Kohlhaas in car number 29. Lights are out on the pace car. We're getting ready to go back. Green flag racing as they come off a turn number 4.
Green flag.
Green is back out. They're side by side, wheel to wheel down to turn number 1. Justin McDuff putting a nice bit to the outside. He's got that coffee cup by Tim Horton steamed up to the outside, but here comes Fluffy Garrett working to the inside of the 20 of Justin McDuff. That's your battle for your number 2 spot. Hamill hung out to dry up on the outside, and that Arts Barbershop number 18 is Joe Schaefer Jr. now working to the inside of the 20 of Justin McDuff. He'll bring the 17 close in tow. That is A.J. Rogers. McDuff going to try to slam the lid down on that coffee cup. He will do so down in the turn number 1. A.J. Rogers giving a little bit of a love tap off of turn number 2. Good side-by-side battle back here for your 5th and 6th spot. That is Matt Eddy in car number 88. The How Racing Eddie Performance Solution number 88. He'll work to the inside. Here comes the Racing Designs automobile of last week's winner, the 13 of Guillaume Fortin, trying to be the first repeat winner of the season. As up front, the number 89 of Jones has a good lead as he hit down here in the turn 3 and 4. Garrett running in your number 2 spot. So you race around, and Garrett's going to start feeling the pressure from the Epic Media number 6. New paint job done by a Dr. Noise. Bill Martin himself putting that car together, that Ford for Joe Schaefer Jr., who's taking a bit to the inside. Fluffy going to get the outside wall. It opens the inside door. The 6 of Schaefer going to go to the inside. That'll be a wheel-to-wheel battle down in the turn number 3. Schaefer now into your number 2 spot. McDuff trying to make it work as well as Fluffy's going to try to slam the door shut. McDuff way down on the apron, losing the momentum off of turn number 2. Not able to capitalize on the 35 being the outside as the door was slammed. Somebody checked the face of the 20 of Justin McDuff. His yellow flag will fly once again here at the Langley Speedway with 23 laps complete. Looks like the driver out of Flat Rock, Michigan in the number 80 car. They're going to be the culprit for this yellow flag. He's got a big donut on the left door panel of that. So let's take a look back here on the turn 3 racing replay to find out what happened to Rob Liddell. Oh, having a little bit of connection issues in the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter, not knowing where he was. This kind of made contact with the left rear. And around went the number 80 of Liddell. See Liddell blinking out there on board with the 777. Just slight contact with him down in the turn number 3. Can move up the racetrack a little bit here. Blinks out. We have I call that electrical issue. That's just the sim having a connection issue, and around went the number 80 of Rob Liddell, and he gets it pointed back in the right direction as the field paces around behind the Iracing pace car. So I would call that, chalk that up to a little bit of connection issue. The 777 of Jeremy Carpenter just not quite knowing where that number 80 was, and that'll bring out our third yellow of the evening here with just 24 laps complete. Field pacing around the beautiful Langley Speedway. Good show so far here tonight. Adam Jones showing the way up on the front of this one. As the field paces around here. Take a look through your top 5 as Adam Jones leads. Joe Schaefer up 6 positions from his starting position. He's in the 2nd spot. Fluffy, Garrett, Jason J. Garrett going to sit there in your 3rd spot as the field gets the double up sign. We'll go back, green flag racing. Justin McDuff rides there in the number 4 spot. A.J. Rogers up 10 positions from his starting spot. He'll start to the inside of row number 3. To his outside will be the 88 of Matt Eddy. But the field is in the hands of the 89 of Adam Jones. Joe Schaefer Jr. up on the outside. He's got that outside, the dreaded outside starting spot. We'll see what he can do on this restart.
Green
Green
flag.
flag is out. He'll tuck it back in line down to the turn numbers 1 and 2. Schaefer right to the back bumper. Garrett right there as well. McDuff trying to make a bid to get to that 3rd spot. Able to get down in front of the 17 of A.J. Rogers. Matt Eddy trying to make a go of it on the outside. He works there. He's got the number 18 of A.J. Hamilton.
Caution,
His inside
caution,
as yellow
caution.
flag will fly for the 4th time.
Kind of talk me through what's going on again.
Here tonight, and it looks like it might have involved let's see, I'm not quite sure who it involved here. We'll take a look here on our replay and see. I believe maybe Ira Kohlhaas involved. We'll take a look here on the turn 3 racing replay. Oh yeah, kind of a stack up deal there. Is a 29, the Strickland Propane, number 29, down on the infield. Let's see if we can get a little bit further back here. Mike Holtzclaw involved here. He was side by side with Aaron Maynard. As they went down in the turn, he got a little crossed up there. Ira got to the back bumper of him. Cole Austin and the 85 of Styles just nowhere to go as the checkup happened quick. He just laid on the gas. Here as we take a look back, here we'll go on board with the track racer on board camera on Jeff Styles' car. See the action right there in front of him. The Holtzclaw gets sideways and right in front, and that might have actually helped out the 22. I know it doesn't sound like much, but taking a look here, it might have actually helped him out. Because I don't believe Mike Holtzclaw's got a lot of damage. He's got a little bit of damage to that rear there, but he was headed straight in for that wall, so that contact with the 85 of Jeff Styles. Running in your 11 spots where he started here tonight. A little bit of front end damage. Got to wonder if the damage is going to get to the engine of that number 85. As the field paces around here under the caution once again. For the 4th time here tonight for the Coffee Cup Racing Leagues, the DECAF Tour and the $1 Hot Dog Night. As the field starts to double up here, we'll see A.J. Hamill's going to start to the outside of the 88 of Matt Eddy. Chris Stump, the driver out of Tip City, Ohio. He's going to be there in the Big Johnson number 98 automobile. He'll start to the inside. And the voice of the American Canadian Tour in Thunder Road, that's the 46, the wild man, Aaron Maynard. And you got Jeff Styles, Eric Steele in his first start of the season. There is the field getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. The pace car makes the hard left-hand turn.
Green flag.
We are back underway here at the Langley Speedway. Schaefer making a bid up on the outside of Adam Jones as the 20 of McDuff gets down in front of the 17 of A.J. Rogers. The battle for second now is J.J. Garrett's going to work to the inside. That is Fluffy trying to get into your number 2 position. Justin McDuff trying to get there to fill the hole if the gap happens. Not going to be able to do so as now Schaefer slams the door shut in front of the 20 of McDuff. Now Schaefer going to get back to the inside of the 35 of Garrett. Garrett up the racetrack in turns 3 and 4. Oh, McDuff getting the curb. They're going to be 3 wide off the corner with A.J. Rogers.
Fellas, we have got a very, very difficult official this week, so make sure we're minding our P's and Q's.
So the yellow flag going to fly here as everything was starting to get jammed up. Let's take and see if we can find where this was. I believe this is going to involve the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter. He's running there in front of the 32 of Eric Steele. They come off the corner. Steele drives in a little bit deep and just gets into the back bumper and hard contact for the Casino Quest CEG number 777 of Jeremy Carpenter, who is down on pit road right now. take and go on the dash cam. See the right front jumbled up right there. It's down in the corner. There's a little bit of contact, and oh boy, that had to hurt. The driver of the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter gonna come down pit road, and I believe that might end his night here for that driver as the field paces underneath the yellow flag. Tough break for the Mineville driver of New York. The CEG Casino Quest sponsor 777 going to have, looks like to be a DNF here tonight. Going to come home sitting in the 19th position. Two other drivers that are currently out of the race. I believe is the number 39 of Bill Martin. He'll get credited with a 21st position. Casey Bietti also had trouble early on in this race. He's parked at 45. The creative counters, the Bietti Motorsports driver out of the Derby Line, Vermont. Going to come home in the 20th position. And now our latest victim, the 777 of Jeremy Carpenter. Lights are still on around the speedway. What do you think, race fans? It's been a pretty good race. Just starting to get a little juicy there for your 5th spot. Hopefully you didn't spill your coffee out there as you watch tonight's Coffee Cup Racing League action, the DECAF Late Model Tour. These drivers, most of them will be back in action on Wednesday night. For there, as the green flag comes back out, side by side for your race lead. Schaefer going to get the nose out in front. Will he slam the door shut down to the turn number 3? Still on the outside, Jones pedaling as hard as he can to get back to the inside. Schaefer will be credited with leading lap number 31. Working lap 32, they are nerf bar to nerf bar off of turn number 2. And down the backstretch, Jones with that quick lane, number 89, trying to put that Ford back out in front. Schaefer going to cut it back in line in front of the 20 of Justin McDuff. That'll put the 17 of Rogers up to your number 4 spot. And now Guillaume Fortin, the driver out of Quebec, Canada, twerking to the inside of J.J. Garrett. That's the battle for 5th. Garrett getting worked up the outside, a little bit of contact, that time off turn number 2. Is Garrett's going to go for a slide. It's contact between them. 18 of A.J. Hamill is in trouble. Garrett's going to come to a stop as Jason Garrett spins off of turn number 4. Jason Garrett going to go from being up front as he was battling here side by side in the turn 3 racing replay. See contact between him and the 85 of Styles, and they make contact with the 18 of A.J. Hamill as Garrett is going to go around. Let's go in car with the turn 3 racing replay. See the driver working the steering wheel and the gas pedal here. In contact between the 46 and the 18 of Hamill, that Maynard Hamill, as Garrett locks it down and pulls back away. A.J. Hamill involved that one. He was right there behind there. You see the contact there between him and the 85, and then the 46 of Maynard and him make contact. A lot of left front damage on the left front of the Arts Barber Shop. Number 18 as they come down here off the front stretch. Thank our cameraman Dave down there braving it on the inside. Bring us this fantastic view from the pit area. Our biggest movers of the race so far is the 17 of A.J. Rogers, up 11 spots, and then the 13 of Guillaume Fortin, also up 11 spots from his starting spot. Two drivers that have won this season are the number 6 right there on your racing screen. That is Joe Schaefer Jr., driver out of Wisconsin. He's won in last week's winner, the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. Ryan's in your 5th spot here. The green flag and ready to come back out as it is displayed as we're back underway here at the Langley Speedway. Joe Schaefer Jr. going to get the run to the outside. He'll clear the 89 of Jones that time. Jones now sideways, got to chase the race car. 3 wide off of turn number 4. Rogers now working to the outside of McDuff. That's the battle for 3rd. A.J. Hamill a little bit loose that time. Looked like off the turn number 4. Is now Rogers and McDuff run side by side down the front stretch. McDuff will put the Tim Hortons Coffee number 20 out in front. Now the yellow flag will come out.
Get a look at your temps to make sure everything looks okay.
With 37 laps into the books. Believe we're going to take a look back here deeper in the field to take and find out what happened. Maybe Maynard involved. We see Maynard back in the 18th position. Let's take a look back here. Oh yeah, contact between him and the 98 of Chris Stump. Turned the 46 sideways, and everybody kept on going straight, but the 46 of Maynard got a little touch there by the 98 of Chris Stump and bringing out our 6th yellow of the evening. This tough break there. Jeremy Watkins nowhere to go. Ira Cole has nice driving to get through there as well. But a tough break there as we see we come back live. Maynard staying out on the racetrack. One driver down on pit road. Look at the damage. That's the 71. The driver out of Harrison, Ohio, the SimpleManCalls.com, Rebel City Wreckers, number 71. That is Jeremy Watkins, longtime campaigner on the short track side of the racing sim. Making the DECAF Late Model Tour his Monday night home. Looks like Justin McDuff moved back, maybe come down pit road to fix some damage or something. He was running up there in the top 3. Now he's going to find himself mirrored back in the field as the field gets the white flag. They will cross him up. Schaefer, Rogers, your front row. Then it's Fortin and Jones. Row number 2. Then it is the 18 of A.J. Hamill in the 85 of Styles. Matt Eddy, 7th. 8th is Chris Stump. 9th is Rigsby. And 10th is Colas in the 29.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is back out as they cross the line. Put lap 38 on the books. Schaefer going to jump out to your race lead. Fortin right there close and tow behind him. Fortin going to move to your number 2 spot. It is the 17 of Rogers. Now going to fall in line in 3rd. Then it's a good side-by-side battle back here between the 89 of Jones. A little contact that time.
Out.
His yellow flag will come out once again. I believe that is going to be for the 29 of Ira Kohlhaas. Let's take a look back here and see what happened. Oh, the 85 got turned sideways in front of the 29 of Kohlhaas. Had nowhere to go. It looked like Mike Holtzclaw involved with this one. We'll take a look back here a little bit further. Yeah, contact between the 22, the onpitroad.com number 22, the driver out of Tennessee, making some contact with the 85. Of Jeff Stiles. So as the field paces under yellow flag here, we hope you guys out there on the Turn 3 Racing Network enjoy this. If you have not done so yet, please subscribe. If you're watching on the YouTube side of things, subscribe to our channel. We got racing content every day of the week here, including this coming Wednesday night. The Nitro Tour is headed into the final stretches of their season. Winding down, they head to the Lone Star State of the Texas Motor Speedway. .61 laps to go in tonight's 100 lapper. Field paces around behind the Iracing pace car. Lights are out. Looks like it's going to be a single file restart here.
Green flag.
As a green flag comes out, we're back underway. Fortin right to the back bumper of the number 6. Joe Schaefer Jr. with that Epic Media Dr. Noise sponsor automobile. Driver for the posse looking back to 09 driver Guillaume Fortin. These two drivers know each other very well, and they got the wheeling and dealing motorsports number 17 of A.J. Rogers there close in tow. We go high above with our blimp cam. We got the top 4 cars kind of broken away. AJ Hamill back there in your fist fight. He's got a gap back between himself and the 88 of Matt Eddy. Eddy quietly been running there. Runs in your 6th spot. Justin Rigsby doing a nice job rebounding. We saw him go through the spin cycle early on in this race event as we close in on the halfway point of this 100 lapper at $1 hot dog night here at Langley Speedway. Chris Stump back there in your 9th spot. He's got the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw there, right there in front of him. Jason Garrett, we saw him up front battling for the race lead earlier on. He rounds out your top 10 at the current moment. Ira Kohlhaas there in the 11th spot, 1 spot out of the top 10. He's up 7 positions here tonight with that Strickland Propane, number 29. Got a bid for your 10th spot here. 9th spot is now Mike Holtzclaw. Got to shuffle to the outside lane. Is Garrett going to get back to the throttle, try to get underneath him? He will do so. Mike Holtzclaw stuck to the outside. Here comes Ira Kohlhaas. He'll drive it in deep in his Chevrolet. Garrett now way up the racetrack. They're going to be 3 wide off of turn number 2. Will that work? They somehow figure it out as Garrett went from 9th to 11th in just that little moment. Is now Justin McDuff starting to make it. There's a 22 of Mike Holtzclaw. He's going to go around in front of the 20. Maynard nowhere to go.
Guys, just quickly, just
hard
remember,
contact with the 22 as Maynard engine severely damaged. Yellow flag coming out as the 22 of Mike Holtzclaw and the 46. Holtzclaw looked like he just got loose, and then Maynard nowhere to go. Let's go on the roof cam. You see the 22 spinning and comes down the racetrack right in front of the number 46 St. J Auto, number 46, and that'll most likely put a dampener on his night here for the number 46. 22 of Mike Holtzclaw was also involved. He's down on pit road right now. Got in the corner and kind of just maybe wheel hopped, getting down in the corner and just nowhere to go. It's 35 of Jason Garrett gonna go around as well. He got down in the grass and stayed in the gas. Just barely missed the 22 of Holtzclaw. The yellow flag has come out once again on Dollar Hot Dog Night. Looks like lights have gone out on the around the speedway, so that'll mean we're going back green flag racing. Here, Joe Schaefer Jr. Single file restart here as we're just past the halfway point of our 100-lap main event. Green flag coming back out. We're back underway. 50 in the books, halfway in, 50 laps to go. Schaefer going to lead them down in the turn 1 and off of turn number 2 with A.J. Rogers in your number 3 spot. Adam Jones 4th. Matt Eddy up to your 5th spot right now. Justin Rigsby runs in the 6th spot. Chris Stump starting to move forward to his number 98. He works to the inside. Takes a peek. Will drive it in deep. Rigsby not going to challenge him right now. That'll put the number 98 of Chris Stump into your 7th spot. Justin McDuff and Ira Kohlhaas were wheel to wheel down in the turn number 3. He'll move by single file down. Action down in the turn numbers 3. McDuff working, trying to work his way back up to the field, all the way back into the 8th position. Didn't quite see how he lost the track position from early on. He was in the top 3. Your top 3 run nose to tail in train length fashion. A little bit of a gap back to Adam Jones and a little more, about 3 car lengths back to the 88 of Matt Eddy. McDuff now really starting to put the pressure as we go into the dashboard, presented by the Tractor Racer on board for the Empire Racing Team driver. A 20 of Justin McDuff. Let's go on board here for a moment. We'll crank it up. That's the battle right there for your 8th position. Guillaume Fortin just a little bit off the back bumper now of your race leader, the 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. 40 laps to go this time by. A.J. Hamill working underneath the 71 of Jeremy Watkins. That'll be a good fender-to-fender battle off turn number 4. Hamill going to flip on by in the Arts Barbershop entry. Jeffrey Stiles back there in the 12th position. He was running up front as well, so some of these drivers had to come down. How about a call out to Rob Lydell, who's having an electrical issue still. His first start of the season with the Coffee Cup Racing League as he works off turn number 4. Same with the number 30 of Dean Gallison, the driver out of Middlesex, Vermont, with a good enough racing entry. He runs in the 14th, and the last driver up onto the speedway, the 32 of Eric Steele. Good. I know Eric Steele personally. He's always a good guy. Likes to have fun. Good to see him out here on sponsor number 32. If you'd like to help him out, reach out to Eric. As Joe Schaefer still leads the way. He's opened up about a 5-car length advantage over the 13 of Fortin. AJ Rogers runs in your 3rd position now, this time off turn 4. He's trying to figure out where he's going to make his move. That time closes in. See the brake rotor starting to glow on the front of this one. We take a look at the last lap time. Fastest car on the speedway looks like it was your race leader of Joe Schaefer. Justin McDuff now starting to put the pressure. He'll take a peek to the inside of the 99 of Rigsby. Couldn't do anything. Lost a little bit of momentum off of turn number 2. Trying to roll him back in. Chris Stump is now rolled up to the backside of our 4th place driver. That's the 88 of Matt Eddy. Stump going to take a peek to the inside. Eddie going to move over, let him go. No battle there this time as they come off of turn number 2. Stump really starting to move forward as they work around lap traffic here. 1 car in front of them is going to be the 32. Lead of Eric Steele. Half-second gap now between your race leaders, but the battle back here for your 6th position still raging on. The Tim Horton century of Justin McDuff in the 99 of Rigsby. Battling up as they close in on the 88. The 32 of Eric Steele works the high side of the speedway. He'll contact with the outside wall for the 32 of Steele. They really stay clean and green. Adam Jones, early race leader, working there. He runs in your 8th position. Driver out of King, North Carolina. That is the number 18 of A.J. Hamill out of Morrisville, Vermont, with the Orca Coolers Arts Barbershop entry. Ira Kohlhaas rounding out your top 10 with his Bohica Motorsports entry. He's got Jeff Stiles running in the 11th position, right to his back bumper. Jeremy Watkins runs in the 12th position. Rob Lydell just going down 1 lap to your race leader, so that'll put 12 cars on the lead lap. Here's Joe Schaefer Jr. opening it up. As we go above the aerial, he's got about a 6-car length advantage. Top 3 equal it out. Rogers, though, starting to feel the pressure. Trying to get up to your top 3. He'll spread out to work around the speedway. Justin McDuff trying to catch to the back bumper now, the 99 of Justin Rigsby. McDuff started 7th. That's where he finds he was the highest up. He was 2nd. And the call back from the backside of the field. And he finds himself sitting in the 7th spot. 8th spot, Adam Jones, A.J. Hamill in the 9th spot. Fortin starting to close in on the backside. Starting to chip into that lead. As we go on board with Guillaume Fortin, the 09 Motorsports driver out of Quebec, Canada. working that steering wheel. Laps to go now for the race leader, Joe Schaefer Jr., who this man, Gilliam Fortin, trying his best to catch. AJ Rogers starting to lose touch with your top two. Schaefer and Fortin trying to become the first repeat winners of the season here at the Langley Speedway on Dollar Hot Dog Night. To the backside of Rigsby once again as they close in on the 88 on Matt Eddy. McDuff trying to make a move. That would be the battle for your 6th spot as Chris Stump now starting to close in on the 17 of AJ Rogers. Schaefer works underneath the 32. Eric Steele, Guillaume Fortin there in the number 2 spot. Third is AJ Rogers. Chris Stump there in the 4th spot with his Mustang. Fifth is Matt Eddy rounding out your top 5. Been a quiet night for this driver. Well known over the short track since and in various leagues throughout the platform. Good to see him calling Monday night home here at the Coffee Cup Racing League. Justin Rigsby holding off the 20 of Justin McDuff right now. That is the closest battle on the speedway for position. McDuff right to the back bumper that time through 1 and 2. Off of turn number 2, he'll take a peek to the inside, backs out of it early, trying to get a good momentum built up, trying to get that passing zone. Remember in the pre-race show, with just 9 laps to go, the best passing place on the speedway is either get into the back of somebody, move them up the racetrack, which in my opinion is not the way to pass people. Sometimes it is your only option. Might spill your coffee if you try to do that. Schaefer now working around the 29 of Ira Kohlhaas. That'll put Kohlhaas back to your 12th position. Jeremy Lyon Watkins here, the driver of the 71. He runs in 11th. Jeff Stiles. 10th, AJ Hamill now starting to apply the pressure to the quick lane number 89 of Jones. Jones a little bit loose in front of Hamill. Got to check it up. He chases it up. Here comes AJ Hamill. Hamill will take a bit to the inside. They'll go in the corner. Jones really loose, must have overheated that right rear tire as he is off a little bit loose as he chases it up the racetrack. That'll give way to the number 18 of AJ Hamill to your 8th position. So AJ Hamill getting by the 89 of Jones as McDuff still battles the 99 of Rigsby with just 4 laps to go. Schaefer working down the backstretch. He'll work underneath the 30 of Dean Gallison in the number 30. As he got 3 lap drivers between himself and the number 13 of Guillaume Fortin as Ira Kohlhaas works inside the number 30. That's the 80, excuse me, of Rob Rydell. Kohlhaas now work to the outside, allowing the 13 of Guillaume Fortin there as the rabbit ears are up. This time by the white silk will fly for the number 6 of Joe Schaefer Jr. The white flag is out for the driver of the Epic Media sponsored number 6. He comes off turn number 2. Down the backstretch, he'll come off a turn 4. checkered flags out our first repeat winner of the year, Joe Schaefer Jr. The home Fortin will come home in your number 2 spot. Third will be A.J. Rogers. Chris Stump will come home in the 4th spot. And rounding out your top 5 here tonight will be the number 88, 99, or 88 of Matt Eddy. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and we will talk to our race winners, the top 3 here as they cool down on the front stretch. Fireworks going off of turn number 3. We'll be right back here on the Turn 3 Racing Network.
With the Butt Kicker Gamer 2, what you see and what you hear is what you feel. Butt Kicker. The future is feeling.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was always fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos or danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at Iracing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. See, Iracing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all will be kept in the pits. Not to mention that with members in over 130 countries already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series and work your way up to one of 7 world championships, offering over $500,000 in prize money. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out Iracing.com.
And welcome back to the Langley Speedway Dollar Hot Dog Night in the books, and we have caught up with our feature winner, and that is no other than the posse driver himself, Joe Schaefer Jr. Joe, we're down here in Victory Lane. You parked the Epic Media sponsored number 6 here tonight, but how challenging was that for you? You had to start deep in the field.
That was tough early on, especially because we couldn't really get into a rhythm. Langley's one of those tracks where everybody's fighting for the bottom, so it's just been known to happen. You're going to get a bunch of cautions, and I got hung out on the high side a couple times and got some help from the 17, which really helped, which really benefit me in the long run. Man, that restart where I ended up getting around Adam, he put it down on the apron, which is where you want to be in 1 and 2, and I kind of followed him down there, and I probably didn't give him a ton of room, but there's really no way to make that pass if you don't take it from somebody else.
Talking about that, I'm working on the outside of the speedway on those restarts. It was pretty impressive to make that stick up off of turn number 2. How, for people that haven't raced here, especially in the late model car, how difficult or how much of a disadvantage is the outside on the restarts here?
Well, with this setup, it makes it a little bit easier to be in second place because you're waiting on the flagman to go. And I always felt that one of the things I'm best at is getting through the gears in a hurry. So if I can get on it, time it right with the flagman and get through the gears quick, I know I can enter 1 and 2 even up with the leader. And at that point, it's just a matter of trying to find that line of how much the right front can take. So you really kind of have to take it all on entry because you're waiting so long to get on the throttle in that outside line. Whereas on the bottom, I feel like you can get hooked up a little bit sooner and drive off. But if you're on the high side, really your only option is to hold that guy on the bottom down and hope he doesn't drive up into you and cuts you some room.
Well, congratulations! You are the first repeat winner of the season, and with this handicap season, it's gonna put the faster guys and the guys that are up front battling deep in the field on the starting lineups moving forward. Next week we head to Myrtle Beach. Is it going to be a disadvantage starting further back at Myrtle Beach, or is that track going to be pretty racy, you think?
I think it'll be pretty racy. Turns 1 and 2 really kind of, you can make both lanes work, and then off of 3 and 4, that it kind of is a D-shaped front stretch. You can make the high side work there too. I think it'll be a pretty racy track for us.
Well, before we let you go here in Victory Lane, where you can celebrate with your team, who makes it possible for you week in and week out?
First and foremost, Drew Krybeck with Epic Media. He's always been a great supporter of mine. Also, the posse, the great team, great group of guys, always kind of pushing me, watching me tonight. I know Bill tried to race, but he was having technical difficulties, and you guys too for always putting on a good show and keeping us in line.
No problem here. There's your race winner here tonight, Joe Schaefer Jr. He's going to be our first repeat winner of the season. Finishing in the number 2 position here tonight will be the 13 of Guillaume Fortin. And Guillaume coming up 1 spot shy of being our first repeat winner, but you're going to take a second place out of here, and that's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't thought at the beginning that I would be able to crack the top 5 tonight, starting in 16, and with a track like Langley, where it's really hard to pass, I wasn't expecting a second place, so I'll take it, and I'm pretty happy about the start that we had this year.
Well, you were the hard charger, up 14 positions. Talk about the battles that you had to go through to get up to this number 2 position.
Honestly, all the position I gained were all on restart, where I got lucky and started inside, and I don't know if I started more than 2 times on the outside, so that really helped me tonight to get some spot, and I think that's the biggest thing that helped me tonight.
Well, next week we head to Myrtle Beach, and how's that track for you and your team?
I'm really looking forward to Myrtle Beach. Usually I'm pretty good there, so hopefully I'll be able to grab the win from Joe next week.
Well, you guys are going to be starting deep in the field. It'll put on a show for us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. But as always, we'll roll the red carpet out for your sponsors. Who makes it possible for you to show up here week in and week out for the DECAF Late Model Tour?
Yeah, first of all, I have to thank all my teammates at 09 Motorsport. They're really helping me out every week to make me fast, and also Racing Design for sponsoring us this year.
Well, there you have it. That is your second place finisher, Guillaume Fortin out of Quebec, Canada. And now we'll head down to our third place finisher. That will be the A.J. Rogers entry, the driver out of Virginia. And AJ, you battled there. You had Joe stuck on the outside, but just able to let him in there. It sounded like in his post race he thanked you for working with him. Maybe that came to bite you a little bit.
Yeah, Joe's a good guy, and I'd have, we've raced together many times, been part of their team at one time, and just I have a lot of respect for those guys. And then plus I was kind of counting my positions to make sure that I knew auctions would come early, so I was trying to bide my time, make sure I started on the inside as much as I can. So that helped me a little bit. Joe's always fast, so is Gilm, so it's hard to beat those guys, but I'll take a podium any day.
Talking about your race here, we saw you with a lot of good battles throughout the field, and got hung up on the outside a little bit. How tricky was it for you? Did you have any tires left at the end?
Definitely the outside sucked. Like Joe said earlier, if you could pinch him down in the corner in 3 and 4, I believe you could make it work if you had to. But no, I really didn't have anything left. I think I kind of burnt my stuff up a little bit, overdriving it. I was watching Chris Stump catch me in my rear view mirror, and I was just counting the laps down. So good run to him. Good run to the front two. Hopefully next week I'll be able to beat him.
Speaking of next week, how is your team and your driving here at the Myrtle Beach Speedway? Coming home with a third place finish, and it's going to average out. I believe you guys are all going to pretty much start in a clump next week.
I have a feeling that might be a little bit of it, not sounding cocky or anything, but I think that's going to me, Joe, and Guillaume seem to run together quite often. There's a lot of guys, there are a lot of fast guys in here that just have bad luck. Garrett, all those guys, they just seem like they can't catch a break at the beginning. But I love Myrtle Beach, so that's one of my favorite tracks, one of the tracks I feel like I'm the best at. So we'll see. Hopefully I can get that W and go on from there.
Well, you come home with a third place finish, and who makes it all possible for you week in and week out?
Definitely my sponsors and my teammates with Willin and Dylan, RBRC, Midwest Power Source, Dixie Products, and definitely Epic Media. They're not on the card tonight, but they will be next week.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, race fans out there. That's your top three finishers for tonight. That was A.J. Rogers finishing third, Guillaume Fortin in second, and your race winner of Joe Schaefer Jr. We'll take a look here at the points after tonight's action. Here it is going to be Guillaume Fortin still showing the way, but Justin Rigsby in the number 2 spot. Moving up one spot after tonight is A.J. Hamill. He is only 28 points behind our championship leader, Guillaume Fortin. Joe Schaefer Jr. up 3 spots into the 4th. 5th spot will be Matt Eddy in the points. As you look there, that's your top 18 in the point standings after 3 weeks of the DECAF Late Model Tour, a $1 hot dog night here at the Langley Speedway. We saw a lot of good side-by-side action. We saw some tempers flare. We saw drivers get upset. But in the end, it was Joe Schaefer Jr. picking up the win. As we take a look here, that is your points as we pull up the results for tonight's 100-lap main event. As we heard from our top 3, finishing 4th was Chris Stump in car number 98, Matt Eddy, with a good run in the 5th spot. Up 8 spots in the night was the number 99 of Justin Rigsby. Justin McDuff had the speed, was up in the top 3 early on, and just did not come to fruition for him as he finishes in the 7th spot. 11 cars on the lead lap. Jeremy Watkins, the last car on the lead lap. Ira Kohlhaas will finish 12th. Dean Gallison in his first start will finish 13th. Rob Lydell will finish 14th. And rounding out your top 15, Eric Steele. Jason Garrett, trouble with that number 35 and had to call it a night. Same with the wild man, Aaron Maynard, will finish 17th. And we saw Mike Holtzclaw also involved with multiple accidents there tonight in his onpitroad.com sponsor number 22 will finish in the 18th position. And rounding out the field was Casey Bietti, and we heard that Bill Martin had a little bit of mechanical issues here tonight. He'll get the ship righted, and I guarantee he'll be in the hunt next week at the Myrtle Beach Speedway. As we take a look at the upcoming races for here, we got Sandcastle Night next week at the Myrtle Beach Speedway, Fan Appreciation Night down west in Irwindale, and then the Mid-Season Championship at the Southern National Speedway. You're not going to want to miss any of those actions in the next 3 Monday nights here as we move forward with the DECAF Late Model Tour. But you can catch all action. We'll be back on the network at Turn 3 Race Network tomorrow night. Catch all the action. The Nitro Series for the Coffee Cup Racing League in action at the Texas Motor Speedway as their season winds down to crown their first champion, the inaugural season. Catch them Wednesday night with our friend KR Stolzis. There's 2 races remaining as they head to the Texas Motor Speedway. But for everybody behind the scenes here at the Turn 3 Racing Network, my name is Al Smith, the Boss Man, and we'll see you at the races.